Alright, welcome back everybody. In this tutorial we're going to talk a little bit about bitrate and the quality of the actual tracks that you have. So not whether they're good songs or bad songs, but what the actual sound quality. Alright, so in our browser here, I've got selected house, and then up the top here we're going to show bitrate by clicking that one. Oh, let me put it back in there. Okay, so bitrate is super important. You can imagine this is an MP3, all right? So MP3, generally, the best quality MP3 you can get is a 320 kilobytes per second file. So you can just imagine it's like resolution on a picture. Higher resolution, better quality picture. More detail. Same is with MP3s. Lower quality, lower numbers in the kilobytes per second means shitty quality, okay? There's a couple of reasons you don't want to use this. So if you rip something from YouTube, you're going to get very low quality. I think a lot of iTunes tracks are quite low quality as well. The lower the quality, it saves your hard space on your hard drive, obviously. So a standard MP3 at 320 kilobytes can be anywhere. The file size is about 10 to 20 megabytes per file, per track. So that saves a lot of room on your hard drive. However, it doesn't give you the best quality. Something that's called lossless, which is like a WAV file or a .aiff on Mac, that's a very high resolution track. So basically, this information, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but more information tells your drivers and your speakers to work smoother. So less information, those speakers move in and out, making noise with less quality and less efficiency. So if you're playing YouTube rips through a big sound system, it's going to sound like crap. You're going to start hearing loss in particularly your high ends and your subs. Like, it's just going to sound like a jumbled mess. You'll notice this as well if you're in a club, particularly in a lot of like shitty meat market clubs playing pop music. They're going to be shitty quality and it's going to hurt your ears. Okay, you get what's called ear fatigue. So when you're downloading your tracks, spend the money. If you're going to play on a huge sound system in a festival and you're getting paid, definitely use or purchase WAVs or lossless, okay? 320 kilobytes MP3s is okay, but you just have to be careful. On a big, huge rig, it might sound like shit, so you just might have to get your sound tech to do different stuff. But for us, in our lounge rooms or at house parties or whatever, totally fine. And you can get away with it in clubs as well, but just be mindful of that. If you rip something from YouTube, it's going to be very low quality and that's going to hurt people's ears, and we don't want to do that. We want it to be nice and warm and lovely. So yeah, just be mindful of that. All right, we're going to touch on, excuse me, we're going to touch on harmonic mixing now as well. So harmonic mixing is basically, if I go back to our browser, sorry, and then I right click up here and it's got the key. All right, key. So you can see here it's got 9M, 2M, these numbers. The M means a minor chord and the D generally is the major chord. Okay, so your major chords are your uplifting, your happy ones. So things like disco music, house music, a lot of major chords. The way it was explained to me is major chords is your hands in the air, yes, feeling good. Minor chords is staring at your shoes, shuffling along. So a lot of deep house. Okay, your minor chords, it's a little more melancholy. So in knowing that, we have to be very careful about how we go. We can't mix two songs that aren't in key. I mean, we can, but it'll sound like shit. It'll be it'll be untuned, if that makes sense. So when we mix in key, there's just a few things we want to do. So we can see our key. All right, so this track is 120 beats per minute and it's in 5D. What's 5D? Let's have a look over here. Okay, so if we look over here, 5D is the key, the chord of E, okay? So you can see that. So this is the Traktor key wheel. You can get this off Google. Just Google it. There's a couple of different kinds. There's a Camelot wheel and there's a Traktor wheel. So the Camelot wheel comes from, it looks a little different, and it's from software called Mixed In Key. Mixed In Key is a program that will analyze your tracks, tell you the beats per minute and what key they're in, and it does a bunch of other stuff as well. But Traktor already does this as well when you analyze your song. So when you analyze a song, when you load it into Traktor Collection, it'll give you Traktor's key. So we just Googled the Traktor key wheel, and here it is. So we know that we're in 5D at the moment. Okay, this is where it gets a little weird. This here is your pitch slider or your tempo fader or whatever. If we were to play this, which we will, we'll play, let's play the breakdown. Okay, so you can hear it there. So at this speed, at its natural speed, 120, it is 5D or E. If we pitch this up, you can see it's changing the pitch. So now it's no longer in 5D. Okay. So we have to be mindful of that. If we wanted to mix this track with a track that was, say, in the same key but in a different tempo, let's see if we can find a 5D here. Yep, there we go, there's a 5D. Okay, if we sync this up now, it has its normal speed, sounds like this. Bit of a lo-fi track kind of thing going on there. Analyzing. If we pitch this up now to match this tempo, so 120, you can see how it's changing the pitch. So they won't be in the same key. Alright, you've got to be mindful of that. You can select this key lock here. Alright, so it'll stay in 5D, and then when we pitch it down to 120, we'll sync it up. Let's actually get this one going and sync this one. So now it is in key because we've got the key lock. You just got to be a little careful with this. If you start pitching way out, like two beats per minute is okay, but if you start getting like 4 and above, you're going to start losing audio quality. It's going to start sounding a little tinny and weird. So just be very mindful of that and try to avoid it. Okay, but let's have a little listen. We'll play this one. Let's just get a kick and a bit of bass line going over here. Probably a little hard to hear, but that should be in key. Alright, cool bananas. So that's just a basic intro into mixing in key and the tempo. So if you use your key lock, it'll keep the key, the original key of the track, and then you can adjust the pitch here, and it should work okay. If you don't mix in key, you just have to be very careful, because obviously playing 2 different chords at the same time is going to sound a little bit jumbled. We'll go into it more in the next video. Alright, thanks so much for watching.